Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. Many of you know that I'm a naturopathic physician, and my journey to becoming a naturopathic physician has been a very personal one. I have struggled with different health challenges through my life, and in 2005, it was some heart palpitations that led me to naturopathic medicine. I was having these sensations where it felt like my heart was skipping a beat. And it ended up getting so bad that I went to the emergency room. At the emergency room, they told me I had preventricular contractions. Basically a scientific name for my heart wasn't beating quite right. They gave me a medication, and at that point I decided I really wanted to try to uncover what the cause of my symptoms were. I went to a naturopathic doctor. I learned how to breathe properly. I changed my diet, and I also took magnesium, and my heart palpitations resolved. That was my first experience with the amazing power of naturopathic medicine. Also in my life, I have struggled with irritable bowel syndrome. This is a condition where people have gas and bloating, diarrhea, constipation, abdominal pain. Not much fun. But I have overcome this condition, and so I've made it my mission, and it is my passion to help others who are suffering from this condition. Tonight, my speech is directed to people that have irritable bowel syndrome. I am going to be talking about 3 common myths of irritable bowel syndrome. Myth number 1, irritable bowel syndrome is incurable. This is so not true, and I encourage you not to believe it. Your doctor may have told you this, but the more that you believe this myth, the harder it is for you to heal. You see, the body follows the mind. When we believe something like this, it sets up a stress state in our body, and it makes us less able to be able to heal. Now, this isn't to say that it's all about the mind and that there isn't something going on physically in the body. There definitely is something going on in the body physically. But what I found is that if I'm giving my patient the best treatments for irritable bowel syndrome and they still believe that it's incurable, it will be very hard for them to heal. So I encourage you not to believe this, and know that I have helped many people overcome irritable bowel syndrome, and you can too. Myth number 2, it's all in your head. Again, this is a very sad one because oftentimes people will come to believe it the more that they hear it, especially from their doctor. It's frustrating when a doctor gives a patient anti-anxiety medication or an antidepressant medication for irritable bowel syndrome. Now, it's called a syndrome because syndrome means a collection of symptoms that we don't really know the cause for. As well, with IBS or irritable bowel syndrome, there's no physical changes in the tissues of the gut. Now, just because there's no physical changes in the tissues of the gut does not mean that it's all in your head. Again, I encourage you to trust your intuitions when you know that something is out of balance in your body, despite if your doctor is telling you it's all in your head. Myth number 3, what worked for Susie's IBS will work for my IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome. Now, I know that people who are suffering from IBS, they really want relief like now. And it's fine to learn what other people have done to get over the condition. But you are a unique person, and the cause of your IBS is likely different than Susie's IBS. So you need to find a doctor who is going to help you uncover the root causes. It's called individualized medicine. Individualized medicine is the gateway to freedom from IBS. I hope for anyone who's listening that has IBS, you know that these three things, or you knew that these three things were myths. The truths are is that IBS is curable. It's not all in your head. And you are a unique person who needs individualized care to overcome IBS. I encourage you to think about the messages that you've been told and what you truly believe about IBS. A lot of times we're not even aware of what we're telling ourselves or what we really believe. And so I encourage you to investigate those things. The first step into overcoming IBS is to recognize that these things are false beliefs. Thank you so much for your time. Madame Toastmaster.